Thank you so much to our amazing MCs for that introduction. I am really looking forward to this discussion with you, Ragdan. It's always so nice to get to connect with activists across different regions to discuss some of the issues we may have in common or ways we can learn from each other.
Well, hi, Celine. I'm looking forward to this conversation as well. Today we're going to be talking about how crisis affected our activism. So, Celine, can you please tell me how the devastating earthquake in Turkey last month had affected your advocacy?
I think we can say that it took us a while in Turkey before we realized how big the damage was, really. For me, it really hit me when my friends and I entered the university supermarket, for instance. Everyone was just emptying canned goods from the shelves, clearing out hygiene products, and loading empty boxes into cars for packaging purposes. Panic was everywhere, and it continued the day after and the next day. For many people, a sense of duty that came from within had us getting up at the first light of morning to go to the earthquake aid centers to help in any way we could. Really, for 2 weeks straight, we were repairing boxes until they were usable, packing them with food and clothes, loading them onto trucks, and then sending them to the 11 cities that were affected by the earthquake. And I can say that thousands of young people, doesn't matter if they were activists or not, just people worked outside all day in the snowy weather in Turkey as if their lives depended on it, which in some way it did, because we were not, we didn't lose any of our relatives bound by blood, but everyone had brothers and sisters in those cities to whom they were bound by our homeland. And speaking of homeland, Rgdan, I wanted to ask you, how has your advocacy been affected by the conflict ongoing in your country, Sudan? And can you share more about your experiences and the impact on your community?
Well, that's heartbreaking, Celine. I'm so sorry for what happened. In Sudan since 2019 and even earlier, we were on ongoing, tryings to make Sudan better and lift it up and develop it for us and the next generations. We were on ongoing revolutions. Us as youth, we were ongoing tryings to do that. But what happened after that really had blocked our tryings and affected our youth advocacy in many ways, and especially after what happened on the 15th of April, we were on ongoing tryings within our community to help and make it a safe place for us and for other communities. But the looting of assets and assistance really had blocked that and make it difficult to reach a lot of people. It's really devastating what's happening right now. So, can you speak on the correlation here that what's your effort to help mentally, emotionally, and physically with your advocacy experience?
Thank you, Rgdan, so much. First of all, I'm sending you all the love and support. And I would like to answer this question by referring to the report and the fieldwork of Sunan'ın Kızları, because I think they're absolutely brilliant. They're an amazing organization that operates under, I would say, the umbrella of the Suna and Inan Kıraç Foundation. And according to their field studies, still basic needs like access to clean and running water is a problem. Hygiene needs and access to menstrual products are solved through NGOs and corporate donations. And unfortunately, the local authorities still lack the personnel and resources. Doctors and nurses and teachers, as well as NGO workers, are exhausted by the volume of work that needs to be done in the area. Yet, there is a growing awareness about girls' and women's access to safe spaces. Girls are especially resilient and have a positive drive to go back to school in the fall,
Yeah,
get
they are.
other capabilities as well. And organizations like Sunan'ın Kızları actually established children's hubs that are open to all children, boys and girls, aged from 12 to 18. Also, internet access is the biggest motivation and equalizer, which is very interesting to me. I think these are just great advocacy examples of
They are.
balancing physical, mental, and emotional safety and health of children who were affected by the disasters. And I think we have a lot to learn from an amazing organization like Sudan Kızları. And Rgdan, I'm sure you also have a perspective on how the safety of girls and women is especially vulnerable during times of crisis. Can you speak to how the threat to safety can correlate with times of crisis?
Okay, well, thank you, Celine. Thank you so much. This is a crucial question, actually. So I did share a video last month about it included actually about the situation for women and girls in Sudan if watching, and it has the predicted statistics of girls and women. But since then, there was an increasing of GBV cases and sexual assaults situations in Khartoum and in different states across Sudan. The situation is really hard for women and girls here, and the more it continues, the more it gets hard for girls, for women, in safety ways, including educational, including mental health safety, including physical health, in different, actually in different aspects. So we are trying to help in communities, and we are sharing awareness of on how to prevent such accidents to happen to women and girls. But still the looting still the shooting and looting of the crisis is ongoing. So we just hope for the best and we continue our efforts. So in Celine, in 2020, you founded We Ground Zero, right?
Yes.
You did. Yeah, a video interview for advocate youth and shared their success stories for the global audience to see it. So I did wanted to ask you how important sharing such moments and success stories is important for your efforts and for the advocacy you are trying to reach, and how the solidarity communicate can find in times of crisis.
Well, I started We Ground Zero because I needed a platform like that myself. I think young people
Yes.
have the power, motivation, and drive to create change and pursue their passions. However, they don't know how or where to start. That is exactly why I wanted to found the platform, to kind of bring the experts per se and bring them together with youth who might share similar dreams but just need a starting point, someone to guide them.
That was creative.
And I believe that collectively celebrating success fosters inspiration, motivation, and a sense of unity within a community.
It
It
is.
showcases the achievements and encourages progress. And especially in times of crisis, the solidarity formed provides a sense of support, hope, and resilience. It enables communities to counter obstacles together and work towards a common goal. Just finding that inspiration. Earlier this month, I know you published a thought and action provoking piece with Girl Up called My Message to the World Stand for Sudan. I
Yes.
wanted to ask what inspired you to share your story on a global platform like Girl Up, and do you have an update or follow-up message for for our readers who were just captivated by your story just 3 weeks ago?
Well, I'm actually a team leader here in Sudan in Girl Up, and we're ongoing trying to share what Girl Up is doing in the world and especially in Sudan. So I did find it this an amazing opportunity to hear my voice because Girl Up platform is amazing. So actually, to see the updates for those who didn't or don't know the updates in Sudan, still the crisis is ongoing, and approximately 2.5 million people are expected out of Sudan, as displaced people out of Sudan, and 2 million people internally displaced. So the situation is still, the crisis is still ongoing, and the situation is still difficult. So still my voice, if it can be heard, and luckily I promise and I do think it can be heard across all platforms. Still, my message is we need to stand for Sudan, and we need to send our voices to the people out there.
That is so inspirational. Again, once again, I'm sending you so much love and support, and just the things you said are just so inspirational, just and so
Thank you
empowering,
so
and
much.
just brings us back to the reality. And again, like, please let me know if there is anything I personally can do or I can do with Girl Up
Thank
Istanbul.
you so much.
Of course, we are here for you. As Girl Up, as your sisters, we're here for you, and we stand with Sudan. Thank you, Rgdan, so much. It was so meaningful and just incredible and eye-opening to speak to you today on these very important topics and pressing issues of our day.
Thank you so much, Celine. So, often in times of crisis, like humanitarian aids deploy from the international community to help. So, considering the global power dynamics and history of imperialism, so what approaches to these cross-cultural integrations do you think are vital to you, truly respectfully, responsibly, and meaningful humanitarian humanitarianism?
Well, I think cross-cultural interactions should be approached with an open mind for sure,
Yes,
with cultural
yes, of course.
sensitivity and being open to listen each other and learn, but more importantly, unlearn from each other's experiences, lived truths, and ideas. And I think it is absolutely vital to foster respectful dialogues for meaningful humanitarian efforts.
Well, I do think that too, because the humanitarian aid, it really gives you the sense that the global awareness of the crisis that's happening is heard, and that the global aid is really giving us that people are sharing their emotional thoughts and physical thoughts. So I do think it's important, but still the looting of humanitarian assistance and the looting of humanitarian assets here in Sudan actually make it a bit hard to get to the people it meant to be. But you know, it is hard times here in Sudan, and we do pray for the best in Sudan and in Turkey. Thank you so much, Celine, for the enlightenment of this conversation. It was amazing hearing from you and seeing you. Thank you so much.
Thank you as well, Rgdan. Thank you.